Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Toby Naitunu, the Mentorship Officer for the Foundation, and welcome to today's session. Please, I would like to see a thumbs up if you can hear me in the comment section. So today's session would be on networking for business growth. First of the Mentorship Guild, we're hosting like a series of exciting and impactful masterclass, and today is the first masterclass to be held. And this program will allow for everyone to join like sessions like this and facilitated by business development experts and our esteemed TF mentors. Today, we'll be having Chioma, founder and CEO of Red Button, a sustainable fashion company creating future-forward fashion products for professional women, host the session. Chioma is also a pitch trainer helping startup founders learn how to exceptionally articulate their value to access funding and other growth opportunities. She's the author of the book Pitch Mastery and has also provided pitch coaching services to many global startup networks, including the Tony Elumelu Foundation, Creative Business Academy Americas, Africa and Europe, Seed Stars, Economy, Access Bank, Leap Africa, and also Donors for Africa Foundation. So over to you, Chioma. Also on the session, we have Foko and Nadia, who will be translating to French and Portuguese for us. So Foko and Nadia, please go first.
Okay. Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue une fois de plus pour cette série de masterclass pour entrepreneurs, le Mentorship Masterclass. Donc aujourd'hui, nous avons Chioma qui va nous entretenir sur le réseau dans la croissance d'affaires. Donc, quelle est la place du réseautage dans la croissance des affaires? Donc, on aura aussi Nadia qui va faire les traductions en portugais. Donc, je vous passe la parole. Nadia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Foko. Bom dia, boa tarde a todos. Bem-vindos a mais uma sessão, ou a primeira sessão da série de masterclasses que serão conduzidas por mentores da TEF. Hoje nós teremos uma sessão sobre o networking para fazer crescer, ou conexões para fazer crescer o negócio, que será guiada pela Chioma. No workshop temos também o Foucault, que está traduzido para francês, e o representante da fundação que está a guiar a sessão. Ok? Bem-vindos, boa tarde. Chioma, over to you. You can start.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Chioma. Thank you, everyone, for joining this afternoon. Today, we're going to be talking about networking for business growth. I'm sharing my story with you guys. This is not something from Google or some dictionary. So I like to tell stories a lot. So I will implore you to listen carefully, use these stories. These are things that have happened to me, that I've used, that I've armed myself with all through my entrepreneurial journey. Essentially being part of the Tony Elumelu alumni community, I have been able to use this network as well to my benefit. And these are some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you today. All right. So just to dive right into it, away from all the introductions, this picture that you see on the screen is an example of what I have used the Tony Elumelu Foundation alumni community and network to build for my business, for my fashion business, right? In 2021, so we had an opportunity from the foundation, from the Tony Elumelu Foundation to talk about or to apply for additional funding, right? And we applied. I mean, that email went, of course, to the larger community, and we applied, and a few of us, or a number of us, actually, 100 of us, were selected for that follow-on funding opportunity. So this opportunity is called the WE for Africa initiative, the Women Entrepreneurship for Africa initiative. And through that initiative from the foundation, we have gotten full-on funding as well as mentors from across the world. So this is my mentor, Sarah, who is in America, where I'm trying to move to export my products into. Now, the work of this, my mentor, is that she's helping me set up my business in America and coaching me through, the kind of stores that I should be stocking in with, or the kind of opportunities that I should be looking at, how to move into that market, or the kind of people I should be talking to, right? So without this network, I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity to be able to scale my business into a whole new region, all right? And these are the things I'll be talking about today, how you can use the network that you already have and how you can build other communities around your business, your network, who can help you scale your business. So as I'm talking through these topics, I'll have Foko and Nadia translate. So Foko, over to you.
OK, thank you, Chioma. Donc, Chioma aujourd'hui va nous entretenir sur la place du réseautage dans la croissance de votre entreprise. Donc, elle essaie de partager son expérience. Chioma déjà est une alumni, donc c'est une bénéficiaire de TEF dans les années antérieures. Et elle nous présente ici une opportunité qu'elle a dû saisir dans le cadre d'un programme où la fondation avait, je crois, envoyé environ 100 personnes. Elle était parmi ces 100 personnes. Et aujourd'hui, elle bénéficie de l'accompagnement des mentors, comme cette dame qui est une Américaine qui est l'une de ses mentors. Et elle dit, elle va partager avec nous comment est-ce que le réseautage, dans le cadre des anciens de Tony Luminou, les anciens entrepreneurs de TEF Alumni, en quoi est-ce que cela l'a aidé à pouvoir faire croître son activité ou son business. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foko. Então, mais uma vez, boa tarde. A Chioma estava a explicar, nestes primeiros minutos, o que vai ser a sessão de hoje. A sessão é basicamente baseada na sua experiência pessoal. Ela disse que não é nada baixado no Google, na internet ou por aí, mas baseado na sua experiência de vida como empreendedora. Ela é uma alumni, ou seja, uma ex-aluna da Fundação, e nesta imagem podemos vê-la a conversar com a sua mentora. A mentora que se chama Sarah, está baseada nos Estados Unidos e através da mentora, Chioma conseguir levar os seus produtos aos Estados Unidos. Como? Porque a mentora conhece o mercado, conhece as pessoas, conhece as lojas, sabe os sítios certos, sabe como ela poderia fazer para conseguir alcançar isso. Então, esta sessão vai ser basicamente assim, vai ser uma lições de vida que ela teve pela sua caminhada como empreendedora, que ela vai estar aqui a partilhar conosco para mostrar como é importante as conexões, ou seja, o networking para realmente fazer crescer os nossos negócios. Chioma, back to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that, Nadia. Right, so what are the learning outcomes for this session? We're going to talk about the benefits of relevant networks. We're going to learn how to build the right networks. We're going to learn how to utilize networking resources. And of course, the general do's and don'ts, what you should do, what you shouldn't do in a mentorship or in the course of building a great network, what you should focus on, what are the no-go-to areas. So we're going to be talking about all of this in this session, and hopefully we can create action points from these 4 points. Now, what are the benefits of building? What are the benefits of even a relevant network? Why are we even having this conversation in the first place? Why are we talking about building your network, right? So the first thing is, building a great network gives you access. It gives you access, right? That's the main point of having a good network. the access you have to people, to different other organizations, to different opportunities like funding, like market opportunities, growth opportunities. It just gives you access. That's the long and short of this this webinar, this masterclass, right? Your network gives you access to lots of things that you need. I tell entrepreneurs a lot that a lot of times it's not funding that you need. You need access. You need people. You need these opportunities that will help you grow, that will help you even build any kind of business. To be honest, I'm not sure how you can build a business, a big business, without access, without a great network. I seriously doubt it, right? And that's why I'm using my networks I'm using it very, very well. So all the networks that I have, I will tell you how I'm using all these networks and how they've been benefiting me over the last 5 years, right? And how you can also do the same. So like I said, these are my personal stories. These are things that I have used, that have worked for me. The Tony Ebony Foundation is just one of those incredibly important networks that, I mean, we are all fortunate and I'm very lucky to be part of. So the next thing is to how to utilize this incredible network that you're part of, right? So a lot of us, we have thousands, of us on this, in this community. How are you utilizing these networks, right? So the relevant networks give you access to people, it gives you access to markets, it gives you access to opportunities, it gives you access to even bigger networks, right? So for example, the Tony Ebony Foundation has given me access, apart from being a part of the alumni community, it has also given me access to a whole new market through the WE for Africa initiative. It's given me a whole new access to a bigger network of the European Commission, right? So I have mentors who are part of the EU Commission. I have advisors who are part of different other organizations who are partnered with the EU on that program, right? So you see how just one network has introduced me to even bigger networks and helping me scale my business, right? So we'll talk about all those in pieces as we move on. Foko.
OK, thank you, Chioma. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous allons échanger elle va nous partager son expérience à travers les bénéfices d'avoir un bon réseau, à travers comment bâtir un réseau et aussi comment utiliser ce réseau. Donc, pour ce qui est du bénéfice, elle essaie de nous préciser que lorsque vous avez un bon réseau, ça vous permet d'accéder à d'autres personnes, à d'autres hommes d'affaires, à d'autres entrepreneurs, aux financiers et toutes les personnes nécessaires pour que votre activité puisse bien fonctionner. Une autre chose aussi, c'est l'accès au marché. Parce qu'effectivement, quand vous êtes connecté à d'autres gens, à d'autres peuples, il va de soi que pour l'occasion, vous allez faire des affaires et c'est autant de choses qui peuvent permettre que votre chiffre d'affaires puisse augmenter à travers les ventes ou à travers les opportunités de business qui vous sont offertes. Donc, la troisième chose, c'est l'accès aux opportunités. Ici, comme opportunité, elle va par exemple dire que le fait d'appartenir à un réseau important vous permet d'avoir bien évidemment des financements additionnels en plus des financements que vous avez reçus de la fondation. Ça vous permet de voyager, de rencontrer des gens, de découvrir les autres peuples, de découvrir le monde, de faire du tourisme. Ça vous permet de tomber sur des sponsors, des gens qui peuvent aider votre affaire à avoir plus de visibilité. Bien évidemment, ça vous permet aussi d'avoir des partenaires avec qui vous allez faire des affaires. Donc, la dernière chose au niveau des bénéfices, c'est par exemple, ça vous donne l'accès, quand vous connaissez du monde, ça vous donne l'accès à des grands réseaux dans le monde. Et quand vous êtes dans ces grands réseaux, il va de soi que vous rencontrez les bailleurs de fonds, que vous rencontrez un certain nombre de personnalités ou un certain nombre de stars ou de personnes qui peuvent vous aider à mieux faire vos affaires. OK. Nadia, over to you.
Thank you, Foko. Então, continuando, o que a Chioma quer que vocês levem desta sessão? Bem, basicamente, o que é importante levar dessa sessão é, número 1, os benefícios das conexões, ok? Número 2, como criar as conexões. No terceiro lugar está a como utilizar as conexões, ok? Uma vez criada, como utilizá-las. E no quarto ponto nós temos, no geral, o que é e o que não é permitido nas conexões que se estabelece, ok? Em relação ao ponto 1, os benefícios das conexões, os benefícios do networking, é importante, a chave aqui, o fator-chave, a coisa mais importante é o acesso às pessoas. Ou seja, quando se tem essas conexões, nós temos acesso às pessoas, nós temos acesso ao mercado, nós temos acesso às oportunidades, e oportunidades são de diversas formas, seja em termos de fundo ou financiamento, seja em termos de viagens, em termos de parcerias, em termos de muito mais, ok? E há também outra coisa interessante, aqui o acesso às networks ou às conexões, dá-nos acesso a maiores, a networks ou conexões ainda maiores, quer dizer, através de pessoas, tu podes chegar, de uma pessoa, tu podes chegar a pessoas mais importantes ou mais influentes. Por isso, na opinião da Xioma, o mais importante para os empreendedores é ter realmente conexões. Tentem sempre buscar por conexões, porque ela diz que ela tem conexões, ela chegou através da Fundação Tony Elumelu, foi crescendo as suas conexões, tem conexões hoje em grandes esferas, não só local, como a nível mundial. Okay? Basicamente, são os benefícios das conexões. Xioma, over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, just to explain what I have going on in this picture. So this is me speaking at the International Creative Industries Forum. Now, I got on this platform from another network that I belong to. So I won the Creative Business Corp Nigeria 2019. And from that network, I got this opportunity to come and train other startup founders or come and talk about sustainable fashion in Europe. And this was critical for me because at that time in 2019, I had just even started my journey to sustainable fashion. And it was important that I joined the conversation globally because, I mean, again, it was something that wasn't a concept that wasn't, very popular in Nigeria. So I use that as well to attract more people to my brand and also, become an authority in sustainable fashion in Nigeria. So imagine speaking on a global platform or sustainability platform in Europe. And I mean, that's also, and then another opportunity and then another one, right? Okay. Now, how do we even build the right networks? How do we build the right network? The first thing is to be a resourceful person, right? Be a resourceful person. You cannot am I back? Sorry about that. My network cut off. Am I back? I think so.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, so should I just go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, my network cut me off, but I'm back now. Now, how do we build the right network? I'm trying to change my view of this. I need to share my screen. Okay. Share. Yeah, I think I'm back now. Okay, great. Sorry about that, guys. So first thing is to be a resourceful person. How do you create that person? How do you be that person that everybody wants to work with, that is so reliable, right? Nobody wants to work with someone who is always asking and asking and asking, right? You have to be someone who is giving value and contributing and helping and advising and sponsoring and partnering. You have to be that person, right? So just think about it. Why are successful people, why do you have a lot of people wanting to support successful people or people who are seen as doing great things? That's because nobody wants to be with someone who is a parasite, who is always asking for something, right? Everybody wants to sponsor someone who is a high flyer. Everybody wants to fund someone who is doing great work already. Everybody wants to fund someone who is always giving value, right? Everybody wants to be with or associate with someone who is, who has a great personality, who has something to offer, who, make them proud, who is a great ambassador, right? That's what people want to, that's kind of person, people want to associate with, right? So you want to be that person. Now, for example, I'm being a resource person on the Tony Foundation mentorship program because I'm offering this kind of value to the platform, right? So if I wasn't this resourceful, the TEF program or the TEF Foundation will not come to me or will not ask me to come and deliver this masterclass, right? So you have to be that person who has value to give. You have to demonstrate that you're resourceful, that you're not always asking for something, right? And in everything you do in your business, in your personal life, building your personal brand, you have to be someone who people can run to for value. You have to demonstrate resourcefulness, basically, right? So next thing is identify the kind of people you need in your network. Right? Who are the people that you even need? Who are the kind of people that will help you get to the next level? Who are the kind of people that you want to partner with, or you want sponsorship from, or you want something from, or you can be part of their community, or you want to do a project with, or you want to volunteer on their platform? Who are the kind of people and the kind of organizations who you're interested in, right? You have to be able to identify them as well, and then attend their events. If they organize events online or offline, or any events that they will be present at, or they're contributing to, plan to also give value. Don't just, be a parasite. Don't just want to be part of what they're doing just because you want to learn or because you want something from them. As much as you also want something from them, you want to learn from, those organizations, or you want funding from them, or you want sponsorship, or you want recommendation, whatever it is that you want. Try as much as possible to be embedded in that community, or embedded in that person or in that human being, right? Have a good relationship before you start thinking of, oh, let me pitch something to you, or let me ask for something, or let me be part of, you have to build a healthy relationship, right? And building a healthy relationship starts with attending their events, being, part of what they're doing, giving value, volunteering, contributing, so just identifying how they also fit into your overall goal, right? How do they fit into your overall goal before even trying to be part of their community? Now, and another example is with the Tony Foundation. I started applying since 2015 or 2016. I know that I applied 4 times before I got in. So why did I constantly continue to apply? It wasn't because of 5,000 seed capital. I mean, anybody could have given me 5,000 seed capital, right? But I needed to be part of this incredible community, right? I wanted to be part of the foundation because I knew that there were so many things I'm going to gain from being part of the foundation, even without the $5,000 seed capital, right? I wanted to build my network with this foundation, especially because I learned, of course, and I researched that, they are part of the biggest entrepreneurship champions in Africa, right? They are, if not the biggest entrepreneurship champions in Africa. So which other network do I want to belong to if I don't belong to the biggest champion in Africa, right? I wanted to belong to this network, of course, because I'm going to have access to a lot of other entrepreneurs who I'm going to be partnering and collaborating with, right? They will have so many mentors across Africa as well. Of course, they have so many other opportunities within their network as well that I can benefit from. So those are the things I looked at and said, I think I really need to be part of this network. You know, I love what they do. I mean, I see the impact of what they're, you know, the resources that they provide. I see the impact across the world. I see people who are growing their businesses. I see people who, you know, have several opportunities. I want to be part of that community. And that's exactly why I continue to apply until I made it in 2018, right? So yeah, so look beyond, you know, what's on the face value, and just find out exactly why you need to be part of that community, or why you want that person to be part of your life, you know, why you want, you know, this organization to be part of what you're doing. Find out exactly why that is, and then start building, just like I did with the Tony Living Foundation. All right, so lastly is build your own platform. This is very easy now because I mean, a lot of us have social media, right? So build your platform, build your community, and in building the platform, continue to offer value on, you know, within that platform. So it mustn't be, you know, so it could be, you know, having a podcast, it could be, you know, regular content creation on Instagram or on YouTube, or, you know, whatever platform it is you're comfortable with. Building your community, you know, in that platform, giving value. A lot of people will gravitate towards you because of the value that you offer. So building that platform alone is a huge opportunity to attract the kind of network that you need, right? So for instance, we take Oprah, for instance. So Oprah started to build a platform. We all know Oprah's story, right? Oprah Winfrey. How she was fired from her TV job, you know, when she was 26, and imagine, you know, she was devastated and wondering, oh my goodness, you know, what do I do from here? And then she thought, you know what, maybe I should start my own show. She started her own show, her own talk show, built the platform, built an audience, and a lot of people have now gravitated towards that show, and of course her, you know, global network, right? And that's also exactly what we're doing with social media now. So we might not be on Oprah's, you know, kind of level, but we're building our own, you know, smaller platforms, and people are gravitating towards us because of the content or because of the value that we give on those platforms. Right. So for example, now I built the Pitch Center. So the Pitch Center is a platform that I built because I was offering free masterclasses and, you know, educating other startup founders on how to access funding. I had access, you know, quite some grants and, you know, entrepreneurship opportunities, you know, in the last 5 years. And I thought, you know, was in 2020, and I thought, okay, let me give back, let me help other startup founders learn how to access all these opportunities. And I started the platform I called the Pitch Center on Instagram. Which has now grown to be, you know, a proper company. But so on that platform, I started to teach how, you know, to access funding, how to pitch for funding, how to pitch for partnerships, how to get opportunities, you know, and a lot of people started gravitating towards that platform because I was offering value there. So because of that platform, other companies have pitched, or other companies have come to me to come and teach their community how to pitch for funding. So I host several, you know, masterclasses, speaking engagement on pitching for opportunities, right? And that's exactly how this platform has helped me also further build my network. So those networks of people who are, you know, writing to me or inviting me to their platforms are now part of my network. So imagine that I have, so for example, I have, you know, the Creative Business Academy, I have the Tony Living Foundation, I have, you know, Donors for Africa Foundation, I have Seed Stars Network, I have all these networks across the world who have invited me to come and speak on their platform. I have them now as part of my network, right? So it means I can collaborate with them. I can, you know, work with them on several projects. They can recommend me for other projects because I've given value to their community, right? So that's exactly how it works. Build your platform and you attract the kind of people that are interested in the value that you offer. All right, Foko and Nadia.
Thank you, Chioma. Donc, à ce niveau, Chioma essaie de nous dire comment est-ce qu'on peut faire pour construire un réseau afin de pouvoir favoriser la croissance de vos affaires. Donc, elle propose 3 choses. Être d'abord une personne ressource. Deuxièmement, pouvoir identifier les personnes qui peuvent bien marcher avec votre réseau. Et troisièmement, pouvoir construire sa propre plateforme. Concernant le fait d'être une personne ressource, elle précise qu'il est important pour vous, dans le monde des affaires, afin de pouvoir avoir un bon réseau, que vous avez bâti un réseau gagnant, de pouvoir être une personne qui apporte de la valeur à d'autres personnes. Parce que quand vous apportez de la valeur, il va de soi qu'en fonction des événements qui sont organisés, vous êtes interpellé comme pour être, par exemple, panéliste ou pour être speaker par rapport à certaines thématiques. Et le plus souvent, on vous donne la parole pour partager votre expérience ou bien pour pouvoir partager votre expertise par rapport à un domaine bien précis. Donc, pour ce qui est de réseauter avec les bonnes personnes, elle parle beaucoup de son expérience où elle explique comment est-ce qu'il est important de participer aux événements que les autres organisent. D'organiser vous-même des événements, ça permet que vous puissiez rencontrer des gens, que les autres aussi puissent se rencontrer. Ce qui est sûr, c'est que pendant ces événements, les gens constatent que vous êtes une bonne personne et que vous pouvez leur apporter de la valeur. Et quand les gens savent que vous leur apportez quelque chose, ils seront toujours à même à vouloir vous rencontrer, à vouloir dealer avec vous. Donc, elle recommande surtout de ne pas être ce type de personne qui est toujours sur la demande. Donc, en affaires, évitez d'être toujours sur la demande. Au contraire, vous devez toujours être en train d'offrir vos services afin d'attirer les autres, afin de rendre votre personnalité intéressante et par conséquent, les gens seront aussi intéressés par ce que vous faites afin de pouvoir faire des affaires avec vous. Elle dit par exemple que le fait d'organiser ces masterclass avec la Fondation Tony, c'est autant de choses qui permettent qu'elle puisse faire agrandir son réseau. Et elle signale bien qu'elle a participé plusieurs fois, 4 fois à la compétition de Tony avant d'être retenue. Et elle dit, si elle a participé 4 fois, ce n'était pas pour pouvoir gagner $5,000 parce qu'elle pouvait bien avoir $5,000 ailleurs, mais pour elle, c'était pour pouvoir entrer dans le réseau des alumni, dans le réseau des anciens de la Fondation comme elle est actuellement. Parce qu'elle avait entendu parler de la Fondation et elle a compris que ça devait être un grand réseau qui devait se bâtir dans la durée. Donc voilà pourquoi elle a insisté, elle a soumissionné plusieurs fois avant de finalement être retenue et aujourd'hui, elle est TEF alumni. Donc elle nous explique aussi au niveau de bâtir la plateforme, elle prend l'exemple de Oprah Winfrey qui a créé une plateforme qui permet de connecter les gens racontent leur histoire et c'est vendu dans le monde entier. À travers ça, elle est connue. Et du coup, elle vous recommande aussi de pouvoir créer des plateformes afin de connecter les autres. Parce que quand vous créez des plateformes pour connecter les autres, toutes les personnes qui viennent en fonction d'un certain intérêt et ça leur permet toujours de gagner. En conséquence, dans son cas, par exemple, aujourd'hui, elle fait le tour du monde à partager son expérience, par exemple, à Star et plein d'autres programmes qu'elle a cités. Tout ça parce qu'elle a mis en place une plateforme de pitch, une plateforme où elle apprend aux gens à pitcher pour pouvoir lever les fonds. Et aujourd'hui, elle est très reconnue et fait le tour du monde pour partager cette expérience. Donc, voilà un peu des petits secrets, des astuces sur comment bâtir un bon réseau. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foucault. Então, nós falamos com os benefícios das conexões, agora a Shoma esteve a falar sobre como construir a conexão certa, ok? Ela aqui dividiu este aspecto em 3 pontos. O primeiro ponto é que tens que ser uma pessoa de recurso. Como é que isso quer dizer ser uma pessoa de recurso? Quer dizer uma pessoa que também tem a dar, ok? Não pode ser a pessoa que está sempre a pedir. Ninguém quer estar à sua volta quer ter a sua volta parasita. As pessoas querem ter à sua volta pessoas que também podem contribuir, que podem partilhar. Então, e quando tu és uma pessoa que realmente partilha, uma pessoa que tem recursos, uma pessoa que está disposta a agregar valores, tu atrais para ti pessoas certas, porque todos querem patrocinar, todos querem apoiar, pessoas que têm sucesso, pessoas que têm valor a dar, pessoas que querem crescer e que estão na luta da melhoria contínua, não é? Então, isso para dizer que tu tens que não só buscar, mas também dar. Seja aquela pessoa que as pessoas sentem que estás a trazer mais valia para elas. E depois nós temos no segundo ponto a identificar o tipo de pessoas que tu queres à tua volta. Sim, porque isso também é chave. Tens de saber que tipo de pessoa queres perto de ti, ou que tipo de organizações queres perto de ti, ok? Então, tu tens que ter pessoas que estejam atento aos outros. Quando as pessoas que tu achas que são importantes para ti, são pessoas que é bom ter na tua network, na tua conexão, estar perto de ti, tu tens que fazer o quê? Tens que estar atento a essas pessoas, tens que participar nos eventos dessa pessoa, tens que buscar fazer parte dessa comunidade a que essa pessoa pertence, ok? E tentar dar valor também a essas pessoas e construir relações que tenham realmente um valor a partir ou com essas pessoas. Ela dá o exemplo dela própria, que ela tentou, ou ela candidatou-se ao TEF em 2015 e não passou, e continua a tentar insistir até 2018, quando ela finalmente conseguiu entrar para a fundação. O que ela queria, ela disse, não eram $5.000, não, mas era fazer parte dessa família que é a TEF, porque a TEF abriu-lhe muitas portas. As portas, as networks, as conexões que ela chegou através da fundação Tônia Lumelu são inúmeras, E é isso que muitos de vós deveriam olhar para isso, é fazer parte e tirar proveito dessas conexões. São empreendedores em toda a África, há mentores pelo mundo afora, há organizações que estão associadas à fundação, portanto, os benefícios são inúmeros. E depois, uma vez de tu estabeleceres as ligações certas, também deves, no terceiro ponto, construir a tua própria plataforma. Como hoje as redes sociais permitem-nos construir nossa própria plataforma. Tu podes estar nas redes sociais, tu podes criar um podcast, enfim. Ela dá o exemplo aqui, 2 exemplos. Dá o exemplo da Oprah Winfrey, que todos nós conhecemos. A Oprah é apresentadora de televisão. Essa senhora foi demitida num programa de televisão aos 26 anos, porque acharam que ela não era capaz, porque ela não poderia fazer o que fazia, e ela ficou devastada, ficou totalmente perdida, mas ela não se deixou ir para baixo. O que ela fez? Ela foi e criou seu próprio programa de televisão. E a partir daí, as pessoas que na altura não permitiam que ela fizesse parte daquele grupo, entraram para o grupo, passaram a participar no programa dela. A comunidade que ela criou a partir daí tornou-se mesmo realmente massiva. E ela diz, ela própria, Chioma, ela começou a fazer no seu Instagram, a fazer a dar umas sessões, umas mentorias, umas aulas num canal que ela chama de Pit Center, não sei se é exatamente esse o nome, mas é algo do gênero, em que ela educava os empreendedores em como obter financiamentos, como buscar financiamentos. Por quê? Porque ela disse que ela, nos 5 anos de trabalho, ela conseguiu um certo número de financiamentos, quer dizer, ela tornou-se boa nisso, que ela achou que ela poderia partilhar. E ela começou a dar dicas no seu canal de Instagram, mas o que aconteceu? Essas dicas tornaram-se tão importantes para muita gente. Muita gente viu valor nisso, começaram a seguir, ela ganhou seguidores, hoje este passou a ser uma empresa, uma coisa que dá um negócio oficial e que dá mais valor a ela, porque através disso ela está aqui hoje na TEF a dar essa formação e anda pelo mundo fora. Portanto, estes são os pontos de como se deve, resumidamente, como se deve criar ou construir a network certa. Chioma, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I saw someone saying that Share Clan says she has an event coming up in a few weeks. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you don't have to have even big events. You don't have to have, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just in case you're wondering, oh, I'm not Oprah, I can't have a TV show, or I need money to do this, I need money to do that. You don't have to do things in large scale, just starting out. You have social media right now. You can literally host Instagram lives, invite people to come and talk on your shows. Just really give value, just like I did with the Pit Center. I'm just posting tips, every other time I think of something to help people with, and I just post it there, and people get value. People, send me testimonials of how they have gotten funding or how they got this grant opportunity because of the tips I share. you know, and that's how people, you know, as they recommend you, as they post on their stories as well, people will see what you do and the message will keep going, right? And that's how people gravitate towards your brand. So yes, you're gonna have regular tea parties. It doesn't have to be anything. 5 of your friends, you know, 10 of your friends, something small in your small office, in your living room. I literally have fashion shows in my living room, right? I just recently even got an office space. So before now, we've had everything that we've done as a business in my living room. We have been featured on Vogue, on Elle, on Bazaar, on the biggest fashion platforms, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, Lagos Fashion Week. Everything that I've done before 2021 has happened from my living room, right? So that's to tell you that you don't need a lot of money. If you want to do something, you do it with what you have, right? And those shows have been sponsored because I literally just apply for them, apply for the sponsorships and I win them. Again, I'll talk to you about how to apply to win some opportunities. That you don't need money, you don't need to spend money, just win those opportunities and you help you be part of those networks as well, right? So organize small shows, tea parties, something small, just do the flyer and post the flyer. It feels like a big show, but it's just 3 of your friends having, you know, the lunch in your living room, having something small, but you've blown it out of proportion on social media, right? So these kind of things are just the things that will help you build your platform without having to spend a lot of money. I just needed to point that out because I saw the comment. So well done, Share Clan. Right. Next, we're going to be talking about, why is my cursor not moving? Oh my God, what's happening? I'm trying to move to the next slide, but it's not moving. I don't know. Okay, great. So how to use networking resources. So we have all these resources for building our networks. How do we use these resources effectively? First thing, one of the resources we have is events. So events are usually where we meet, you know, these people who want to network, want to exchange complimentary cards, you know, want to tell them about what we're doing. We want to, you know, just show ourselves, add value. So these events are very critical to building your network, right? You know this kind of people, you know the people that you want in your network, you know the organizations you're interested in, right? Find where they are, invite them for your events, right? So if you have notable events that you want to showcase or you want them to be part of, invite them. So even if they won't come, just extend an invitation, right? So that way you already know that, oh, Choma is launching a new collection next week. Oh, Choma is launching her, new showroom. Oh, there's something happening in Lagos or in Ibadan or in Kenya. With this brand this weekend, right? So even if they won't attend, just extend an invitation to them. It's part of letting them into what is happening in your business, right? So invite them for your events. If you have notable events, please, I have to warn, do not send out irrelevant invitations because I said invite them for your events. No, and then if you want to do anything, you invite people that have no business that have no business with what you're doing. No, don't do that. People get irritated and they will blacklist you, or rather they will block you, right? So you have to invite the relevant people who are interested in what you are doing, right? So I'm not going to invite let's say, for instance, if I'm running an educational, or maybe let me use Redbus as an example. So if I want to have a fashion show now, I'm not going to invite another bank that has nothing to do with my business or has nothing to do with my fashion show. Why would I invite a strange bank that is sitting on its own minding their business, right? I will invite a bank that has been part of what I'm doing or that is interested in the kind of work that I do, right? So for instance, there are banks that have, affiliations with fashion events that have been part of their fashion events before. So those are kind of people that I will invite. I'm not wasting my invitation. Also, people don't get irritated. I'm inviting them to, what does not concern them, right? So make sure that the people who you're inviting are people who are affiliated to the kind of things that you're doing, who are interested in the kind of things that you're doing, who will also be happy to share or happy to be part of it, right? So that people don't think you're disturbing them. All right. So attend their events as well. Add value as a volunteer, as a publisher, or give gifts. So for example, with inviting for events, I've had big events like my book launch that happened last year. I invited the Tony Moon Foundation as well because they're part of the people who reviewed my book. So you see, if they were not part of my book launch, or of reviewing my book or being part of the book project, I'm not sure if I would have invited them. So you see, it's because I have a relationship with Tony Moon Foundation. It was easy, and they're also part of my book, building this book that I have written. It was easy for me to invite them, and they were also happy to be part of the book launch. So these are the kind of things that I'm talking about. Again, I also invited them when I was launching, the first sustainable fashion collection that I had. And this was also important because they were part of the people who funded our growth, to that stage in 2018. And so this was in 2019 that we're launching. So it was important for me to also invite them, to take them through that journey. So even though they will not come, or even though they won't come, or even though they might not necessarily be in your location to attend the event, but they are aware that, oh, these are alumni that we funded, is now launching, a new product, or is now launching, a new store in some part of the country, right? So it just gives them visibility into what you're doing. All right. Then attend the event also, and, volunteer, publish, give gifts. So this is also very important to clear. Not everybody accepts gifts, so don't give gifts to people who are not, you don't just wake up and just buy gifts for people. No, right? So in terms of gifts, it could be gifts that are important to the event. So for instance, if a community that I belong to is offering, let's say, entrepreneurs with, masterclasses, and I'm part of that community, and I think, what can I give to this community for this event? And I wrote a book on, whatever it is they're talking about, and I said, okay, I'm going to share some copies of my books to their community members. That's a good gift that the community or the company or the organization will be interested in, or would like, right? That I'm giving the gifts, or video courses, or whatever it is that will benefit them. That's kind of gifts that will be that will be recommended, right? Not maybe buying bow ties for the manager, right? Because a lot of companies don't accept gifts, so don't go giving irrelevant gifts. Give thoughtful gifts that will help the community, right? Again, publish their events. So for some people, you attend events. Some organizations don't really have people who are blowing that event out of proportion, or rather blowing the event on social media, right? Or talking about it. So be that person who is talking about the event. Or I've attended this event. It has been a wonderful session, incredible speakers, and I've learned this, I've learned that. So as you're talking about the event, be tagging that company or the organization, whoever it is that organized the event. That way, you're creating more visibility for them. They're happy to see that you're publishing their event. More people have eyes on their event. That's also a way to attract people to you, because ordinarily you are not paid to do that, right? But you're adding value. That's your way of adding value without having to spend money. Right, so those are the kind of gifts that you can give. Be their publisher on social media. Give recommended gifts to the community. What will help them? Be a volunteer. You can volunteer to do something. If they call for volunteers, you can volunteer to do something to help with sound, help with the internet, help with organizing, help with invitation, help with marketing, anything that you can help with. Just be part of that event. There's so many ways you can contribute to an event without having to spend a lot of money. So yeah, that's another way to utilize events as a networking resource. Subscribe to these networks. Sometimes these networks need you to subscribe with actual money, right? If you want to be part of global networks, some global networks need you to subscribe with money. So if you're interested in those kind of networks, feel free to subscribe to their network, and also be of value. So as you subscribe, don't just be a silent network, person. You have to add value to the community. You have to be visible. You have to be resourceful. That's the only way you can even maximize the potential of that community, because these communities sometimes they ask them, oh, I need people on my board. I need people to do this, to speak on this event coming up, or I need someone that will travel to London to represent our community, or we need someone. So they have all these recommendations and these requests, all the time. If you're not if you're not an active member of that community, nobody will think about you in those opportunities, right? So you have to be active in your networks. You have to contribute. You have to be of value. Next, networking resource. Okay, I think we should translate before we go to the next. Foko and Nadia.
Okay, thank you, Chioma. Donc, pour ce qui concerne comment utiliser les ressources du réseautage, nous allons aborder cette thématique à travers 3 sous-points. Le premier, c'est les événements. Le deuxième, c'est les réseaux sociaux. Le troisième, c'est le pitch. Donc, concernant les événements, Thio me recommande d'inviter les gens afin qu'ils puissent participer à vos événements que vous organisez. Et vous devez aussi participer aux événements que d'autres organisent, en prenant la peine de vous proposer comme volontaire afin de leur apporter des services, parce que tout ça permet de vous faire remarquer. Il demande aussi de souscrire au réseau des autres qui organisent des événements, de toujours participer à des événements, et elle partage beaucoup d'expériences, elle prend beaucoup d'exemples sur lesquels on ne doit pas revenir, toujours pour dire c'est important d'organiser les événements, c'est important d'inviter d'autres personnes à vos événements, c'est important que lorsque vous participez à un événement professionnel ou familial ou social, de pouvoir être utile, vous proposer comme volontaire afin d'apporter de l'assistance aux autres, afin d'échanger avec les autres. Ça permet que vous soyez présentiel à leur esprit lorsqu'ils ont quelque chose qui concerne votre business. Et bien évidemment, pendant ces événements-là, échanger avec les autres, échanger les cartes de visite, les contacts WhatsApp, intégrer les groupes, que ce soit les groupes de réseaux sociaux, WhatsApp, Telegram et ainsi de suite. Pour ce qui concerne les réseaux sociaux, elle recommande de beaucoup suivre les autres personnes qui vous inspirent, de vous engager, c'est-à-dire en partageant, en likant, en partageant les publications que les personnes qui vous inspirent font, les publications qui concernent votre activité, qui concernent votre entreprise, qui concernent votre business, tout ce qui a trait à votre activité professionnelle, vous devez partager et pousser les autres aussi à y adhérer. C'est ça qui permet que votre réseau s'agrandisse et que vous puissiez utiliser à dessein ou à bon escient toutes les ressources qui sont mises à votre disposition par la technologie d'aujourd'hui. Donc, on vous demande aussi d'être très responsable lorsque vous communiquez, d'avoir des profils attractifs et très professionnels, parce qu'en réalité, les gens, pour se connecter à vous, iront toujours regarder votre présence sur les réseaux sociaux, iront dans Google, dans le moteur de recherche, taper votre nom pour savoir qu'est-ce que c'est que votre activité. À ce moment-là, il faut qu'ils aient des bons retours de vous. Donc, c'est toujours important d'avoir des profils online, des profils sur Internet qui permettent que les gens sachent ce que vous faites et qu'ils aient une bonne impression de vous. Ça, c'est très important. Elle recommande aussi d'inspirer les autres. Donc, d'inspirer les autres et de les aider aussi à s'épanouir toujours à travers votre communication sur les réseaux sociaux. Donc, voilà, je pense, les différents points qu'elle a abordés. Je ne suis pas sûr qu'elle ait déjà abordé le point sur le pitching. Donc, je laisse qu'on puisse continuer. Au cas où elle aura abordé, je reviendrai dessus. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foucault. Então, continuando nos pontos que estivemos a ver, nós vamos ver agora como usar os recursos de network, ok? Então, aqui a Shoma dividiu em 3 pontos: os eventos, as redes sociais e o pitch. Em termos dos eventos, ela diz que devemos, para que vocês possam tirar proveito dessas parcerias, dessas conexões que vocês querem estabelecer, vocês devem convidar as pessoas para os eventos. No entanto, atenção, quando convidar, não é convidar qualquer pessoa para qualquer tipo de evento, né? Obviamente tem que convidar pessoas que têm a ver, de alguma forma, pessoas ou organizações que têm, de alguma forma, a ver com o tipo de atividade que vocês estão a fazer. Quer dizer, tem que haver algum relacionamento entre essa pessoa e o evento. Ela deu exemplo dela quando fez o lançamento do seu livro, ela ter convidado a Fundação Antônia Lumalu. Ela só o fez porque eles fizeram parte revisaram o livro e também comentaram no livro. Portanto, eles tinham um envolvimento com o livro, daí ela ter eles convidado para essa sessão. Quanto não, provavelmente não teria convidado. Portanto, olha assim, se o evento não tem nada a ver com uma entidade, uma pessoa, uma organização, por favor, não a convidem, porque depois as pessoas, quando começam a receber convites, não tem nada a ver com elas, acabam por ficar irritadas, colocam-vos na lista negra e, eventualmente, nunca vão aceitar nada, nenhum convite vosso. O segundo ponto aí é atender, marcar a presença nos eventos das pessoas, né? Nesse caso, agora é o oposto, né? Vocês vão aos eventos dessas pessoas, dessas organizações. Vocês vão lá, vocês tentem agregar valor a esse evento, a essa atividade. Seja como voluntários, seja como alguém que vai lá fazer alguma coisa, agregar algum valor, mas participem nessas atividades, ok? Nem que seja para depois do evento fazerem publicações sobre o evento, dizer, olha, eu estive nessa conferência, fui assim, houve palestrantes muito interessantes, ou que qualquer coisa acerca do evento em si, ok? Ou pode ser também através de entrega de presentes. Mas quando presentes aqui, atenção, nada de presentes personalizados, quer dizer, presente para pessoas individuais, não. Presentes podem ser coisas, tem que ser coisas que sirvam à organização, ok? E a Chioma deu o exemplo de gravata. Não vou pegar e vou dizer que vou oferecer uma gravata ao gerente dessa organização ou ao diretor aqui. Não, mas eu posso oferecer se eu produzo, o meu negócio é produzir revistas, eu, por exemplo, posso dizer, vou pegar um grupo de revistas e oferecer a essa organização, revistas essas que podem ficar ali no hall de entrada, na recepção, e muita gente pode pegar e vendo, quer dizer, é uma coisa que vai servir para a organização, mas que não é personalizada. Vamos dizer, se eu vou oferecer, eu não vou oferecer um ramo de flores ou um buquê a alguém, uma senhora da organização, mas eu posso oferecer um vaso de flor para ficar na recepção da instituição, por exemplo. Portanto, esse tipo de presentes. E outra coisa também que ela chama aqui a atenção é fazer o registro para as networks da organização ou da empresa. Seja ela se for, algumas vezes é necessário pagar-se, um valor simbólico mas ela demonstra que tu tens interesse nessa organização, nessa instituição, e claro que o interesse depois torna-se uma coisa recíproca, né? As pessoas veem que essa pessoa realmente está sempre a falar de nós ou está a fazer alguma coisa pela minha organização. Eu também, quando posso, eu vou ao seu evento ou eu retribuo de uma forma ou outra. Portanto, é assim que se pode tirar vantagem através dos recursos de eventos. Tá? Agora eu vou passar para a Chioma para continuar. Chioma, over to you. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So we moved straight to social media as a networking resource. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because we already know how to use social media. I assume that we already know how to use social media. Getting into this community already, I know that you're a responsible social media user, right? So you keep a responsible online profile. You don't go arguing everywhere and just being a nuisance, right? So I assume that we're all responsible online users. Follow and engage intelligently on their conversations, right? So the people or the networks you want to belong to, ensure that you're very visible on their platforms. And then if they inspire you somehow, or, you know, however it is they inspire you, make sure you shout them out, let them know that they've inspired this work that you do, or that they've inspired this product you created, or they've inspired this innovation that you're working on. If there's something incredible that they have done that has inspired you, please shout them out so that they know. So that's also part of how you can use social media to attract the kind of networks that you want. Right, so I'm going to go straight into pitching. Of course, we're going to talk about pitching, right? There's no networking without pitching. So, and this is also my bread and butter. I'm very excited about pitching because it has helped me do a lot of things that I'm doing today. It has helped me, in fact, it's helped me build this network that I have today all over the world. This is because I know how to exceptionally articulate my value, and I know how to let people make compelling cases for my business, for my personal brand, for partnerships, sponsorships, funding, and so on. So let's dive right into it. Now, so for pitching is basically about articulating your value to the next person, whoever it is you're asking something from, making sure that what you're telling them to do for you is very compelling, is compelling enough that it will be difficult for them to say no, right? Or I'm not interested. So even if they say no, I'm not interested, it does not mean that your pitch was not good, right? It just means no at that time, or that's not what they need right now, or they don't have what it takes to accommodate your requests, but it cannot be that your pitch is not great. So make sure you're at that point where it cannot be that my pitch is not great, or it cannot be that my pitch was not well done, right? So that's where I want you to be. So if you get a no, which of course happens all the time, I've gotten several no's. So for every yes I get, I probably have gotten 20 no's before that one yes. Yes, that's how it works, right? So I've come to a place to understand that my pitch is great. It's just that it is wrong timing, or I'm not just lucky at that point, period, right? Now, ensure that they have good interest in what you're pitching. So if you're pitching people in your community, or pitching people in some network for something you want them to do for you, ensure that the people you're pitching to, they have interest in what you're pitching. So like I said before, don't just pitch, Elon Musk because you think, oh, Elon Musk is rich. Oh, I think he can sponsor this, my event. And then you pitch Elon Musk and you're wondering, who are you? What are you doing? I don't understand. What's my business with your food competition? What's my business with your food business? So ensure that people who you're pitching have interest in what you're pitching, so that it's easier for them to, recognize how they can come in, right? If they don't have any interest in what you're doing, please don't even bother. And that's why I talk about research a lot. Research the people who you're interested to work with. Understand what their interests are. Understand where they are going. What's the next thing for them? And a good example is the Tony. I'm going to be using TEF as an example, because of course we are all part of this community, and I needed to learn how to utilize this very community, right? I have done a lot of things with this community, with my fellow alumni members, right? It doesn't have to be the CEO or the chairman or the board, or it doesn't have to be, anybody in management, right? You can network, you can build with the people, with your fellow alumni members. Yes, I have done partnership with my fellow alumni members here in this community that's attracted so much from my business, right? So I did a collaboration with Happy Coffee as well, I think in the beginning of the year. And that also includes so many other, their own markets. So the people who like to drink coffee are usually, upwardly mobile women, people in business, professionals, the people that go to cafes to drink coffee, right? So because I did that collaboration with them, I had their community members coming to buy dresses from us because they also have our target market, right? So that's how to work together and collaborate with your peers, right? It doesn't have to be a big person or a big organization. We're always looking at the big people, right? So you can collaborate with people around you. So because of that, we're exposed to new markets of, coffee drinkers who also like to dress well. They're professional women that are also our target market, right? I've also done a collaboration with the nuts place. So the nuts place makes coconut products, coconut flakes, coconut snacks, and all of those things. Guess what? We use coconut buttons. We use coconut shells to make our buttons, our red button. I like that. Our buttons are red buttons. Don't mind me. So we use coconut shells to make buttons, right? And coconut shells are per byproducts, right? That are waste products. So she gives us the waste products and we use them to create buttons that we use for fashion production. So you see how we work together, and we don't need to spend money. We don't need to do anything. We're just working together and building our both businesses, right? So our waste product is now my raw material, right? So that's how I'm collaborating with a lot of people. I also have a collaboration with Mitimes, who is also a TEF alumni or alumnus, right? She upcycles waste materials, industrial and agro waste, that we also use in our business for fashion production. So all these people I'm collaborating with, they're all part of this community. And I'm using them, I'm using the value that they offer or that they can bring to scale my own business, right? So if I'm not working with these people, I probably will be spending more money buying these materials or looking for where to source these materials for my sustainable production. But because I have this community, everything I'm looking for is literally in this community, and I'm using it to my advantage, right? That's exactly what we're talking about here. So find these people and talk to them, pitch to them. I literally pitch to Happy Coffee, or this is something that I think that we can do. I don't want to always be collaborating with fashion people. I can collaborate with another brand who also has my target market, and it's a coffee brand. People who drink coffee are people like me, women like me who are working in offices, who are upwardly mobile. Those are people that drink coffee. So I think we have, a target, similarities in our target market. So the people who also would wear my clothes are the people who can drink coffee. So we're exchanging markets, right? And that's exactly how I pitched to her. And she thought, there's value here. Let's do it, right? So ensure that you have interest, ensure that the people you're pitching to have interest in what you're pitching, right? Write professional pitches, emails, proposals with corresponding value. So have the value that they would be interested in. Don't just say, oh, please come and sponsor my show, or please come and sponsor my book launch, or please come and sponsor this, or be part of my whatever. No, you don't keep asking for without giving commensurate value. There has to be value for the organization or for the person that you're pitching to. Right. So another example is with the Tony Moon Foundation as well. When I was writing this book, I wrote a book called Pitch Mastery. So Pitch Mastery is the startup founder's blueprint for winning business pitches. So I thought that, okay, I'm writing this book for founders who want to access funding. The Tony Moon Foundation is also, the biggest champions of entrepreneurship in Africa. So this is the right community for me to work with for my book, right? And they also have the target audience for my book, right? So I wrote to them, I wrote a proposal. Oh, TEF, I'm writing a book for so. This is the value that I'm going to be offering. I can be teaching, masterclasses, helping, your founders learn how to access full-on funding, how to access opportunities, partnerships and all of this stuff. This is very interesting, right? And of course, TEF was, welcoming of the idea, because this is exactly what will help our community members, right? So you see how I'm offering value, because I also want them, to offer me value. So that way we're offering each other value, and, it's an interesting partnership, right? That's exactly how you pitch. Find an organization or someone or a brand, an individual who has something you want, something you need, and also offer them value. So a partnership is meant to be, symbiotic, right? I give you, you give me, right? That's how to build a network. So imagine that you have done this partnership, their target market is also seeing this partnership, and they're also learning from it. And that's how you also build your network. So because of the partnerships that I've had with, my fellow alumni members, with TEF as a whole, I have also grown my network further, right? Because a lot more people are seeing my work from the different people I'm collaborating with, and I'm growing my network. I have more customers, I have more clients, right? I have more well-wishers, right? Because, for everything, people come to you and ask, or people just Google you, oh, who are the people she's working with? Oh, can I get her on board for this program? And they see that, oh, she's been working with this person. Oh, she's partnered with this person. Oh, she's worked on this project with, these brands. Oh, she's doing this and she's doing that. So that, helps to validate your work and also helps to increase your integrity for people who are searching for you to work with you. Right, so this is essence of what this is one of some of the many benefits of building a great network. So as you're pitching to people, ensure that you have value that you want to pitch them as well. Write professional pitches. Like I said, sometimes people just get turned off by the way you write or the way you put together your value, and they think, it's not so interesting. Why is this proposal so shabby? If you want to learn how to pitch, please buy my book. It's on the link to my book is on my Instagram. We can talk about that later. It's on my Instagram. So just click the link and get the resource. It talks about how to pitch for sponsorships, partnerships, for funding, for different kind of things. Essentially, how to articulate your value for any opportunity you're looking for, right? That's about pitching. So I'm going to leave Foucault and Nadia to translate before we get into the next slide.
Okay, thank you very much, Yoman, for that excellent presentation. Donc, pour toujours ce qui est de comment utiliser ces ressources pour le réseautage, nous allons maintenant parler du pitch, de la présentation. Parce qu'en réalité, lorsqu'on parle de réseautage, vous devez comprendre une chose, c'est que vous devez faire face à un certain nombre de personnes que vous voulez connecter à vous, que vous voulez connecter à vos affaires. Et il est important que vous teniez un discours qui va pouvoir les attirer. En fait, c'est ça le but du réseautage, c'est ça le but de la manœuvre. Ça voudrait dire quoi? Ça voudrait dire que l'une des ressources importantes dans la croissance de votre entreprise à travers les réseaux, à travers les connexions, c'est le fait que vous maîtrisiez la présentation de votre projet. Ça, c'est quelque chose de capital. Vous devez donc vous rassurer que vous avez un bon pitch qui permet à chaque fois que vous l'utilisez de pouvoir captiver les personnes avec qui vous voulez traiter. Ça, c'est très important. Et votre pitch doit être très, très, très professionnel. Ça veut dire, ça peut être sous forme d'email, ça peut être sous forme d'une proposition, ça peut être une correspondance. Toujours est-il que ça doit être, comme je l'ai dit, un discours. Ça peut même être une image, ça peut être un flyer, ça peut être votre CV, votre carte de visite, une courte vidéo de vous, ça peut être une présentation que vous avez eu quelque part, ça peut être même un truc d'humour, une marque d'humour que lorsque vous partagez avec des gens, ils comprennent mieux ce que vous faites. Toujours est-il que vous devez savoir vous vendre et faire que votre présentation ait de l'intérêt pour votre vis-à-vis. Dans tous les cas, tant que vous faites des choses qui n'apportent pas un intérêt pour les autres, ça ne peut pas marcher. Personne ne va accepter d'être dans votre réseau relationnel tant qu'il ne gagne pas quelque chose à travers votre réseau relationnel. Et pour cela, vous devez vous rassurer de la règle du donnant-donné. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire que quel que soit ce que vous faites, les autres en face doivent obtenir quelque chose de vous si vous voulez qu'en retour, si vous voulez aussi en retour obtenir quelque chose de. Donc, Thio m'apprend beaucoup d'exemples. Elle s'inspire beaucoup pour partager avec nous aujourd'hui de son expérience avec la fondation. Elle dit quand elle a écrit son livre sur l'art de la présentation, le pitching, elle s'est rapprochée de la fondation, elle a écrit à la fondation en leur disant, écoutez, voici quelque chose que j'aimerais partager avec vous parce que j'estime que ça va concerner le réseau des alumni. Et elle dit, la fondation l'a accueilli à bras ouverts parce qu'effectivement, son livre pouvait permettre à la fondation de communiquer mieux dans le réseau de mentorat, dans le mentorship avec les anciens entrepreneurs que vous êtes. Et par conséquent, la fondation a été directement intéressée par son livre, par ce qu'elle proposait, parce que ça apportait de la valeur à tous les autres entrepreneurs de la fondation, que ce soit ceux qui ont déjà reçu des financements ou ceux qui vont recevoir des financements dans le futur. Donc, Thioma, comme je vous l'ai dit, elle prend beaucoup d'exemples. Elle raconte comment est-ce que vous devez avoir, à travers le pitch ou à travers les réseaux sociaux, vous pouvez rencontrer des personnes qui peuvent vous apporter de la matière première, des personnes qui peuvent vous consommer vos produits. Vous pouvez rencontrer peut-être des personnes avec qui vous allez travailler. Bref, il est important en affaires de se bâtir un bon réseau. Et pour bâtir ce bon réseau, vous devez savoir comment utiliser les différentes ressources qui sont à votre disposition. Par exemple, les événements, on l'a dit. Par exemple, les réseaux sociaux, vous devez pouvoir suivre les autres et faire que aussi les autres puissent vous suivre. Et enfin, vous devez pouvoir avoir un bon discours, une bonne présentation, un bon pitch qui attire les gens lorsque vous en arrivez au point où vous devez vraiment les marquer afin qu'ils pensent à vous dans des situations où ils peuvent apporter une opportunité pour vous en termes de développement de votre entreprise à travers les marchés, des opportunités de voyage, des opportunités de financement et bien d'autres. Donc, merci et on va prendre la suite. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foucault. Então, continuando na utilização dos recursos de networking, chama-te a falar das redes sociais, ok? Nas redes sociais, o que ela recomenda? Ela recomenda que vocês se engajem ou envolvam-se em tópicos que sejam realmente inteligentes, quer dizer, conversas inteligentes, coisas construtivas. E também ter o próprio perfil da pessoa. Tenta ter um perfil responsável, ok? Muita gente tem perfis estranhos nas redes sociais e participam em conversas que não são nada construtivas, são derogativas e por aí. Evitem-se disso. E também, se vocês, nas redes sociais, se aperceberem de que alguém que vocês querem se associar, das vossas conexões, nas suas postagens, se verem ali algo que é interessante, que vos inspirou, fale, divulga, faça barulho, comente, porque isso ajuda que as pessoas olhem e dizem, olha, essa pessoa costuma comentar nas minhas publicações, e essa pessoa costuma dar atenção àquilo que eu publico. Portanto, usem as redes sociais dessa forma, ok? Em relação ao pitch, que é algo que ela tem uma paixão enorme, tanto mais que ela tem um livro sobre o pitching, o que é que devem fazer aí? Os vossos pitching, as vossas apresentações, a venda dos vossos negócios deve ser feita de forma a que ela esteja a dar valor ou esteja a trazer valor. Porque quando vocês fazem esse approach, ou venham da forma que estão a trazer valor, é muito mais fácil vocês convencerem a outra pessoa, ok? De forma que, se vocês preparam bem o vosso pitch, se receberem um não, vocês não vão ficar muito aflitos, vão entender que, ok, o facto de só ter dito não quer dizer que eu não fiz bem o meu pitch, não quer dizer que o meu pitch não tenha valor, mas pode ser que neste momento não interessa a pessoa este meu serviço ou esta oportunidade, ou pode ser que nesse momento a pessoa não está disponível para isso, mas não é porque eu não fiz bem o pitch, ok? Então, tenham atenção nisso e preparem o pitch certo e apresentem na pessoa certa. Quer dizer, pessoas que possam interessar, ok? Porque a pessoa tem que ver algo interessante ou algo em troca. É basicamente isso. No mundo, na verdade, é um troca. Dá cá, toma lá. Então, tu tens que apresentar o valor para que a pessoa também se interesse e dê valor àquele valor que estás a pedir. Ela deu aqui 2 exemplos. Ela falou de alguém aqui que ela conheceu, que ela fez uma conexão de TEF, que tinha um café, e ela tem um negócio de modas, e então ela chegou para essa pessoa e ela queria ver se conseguia aquele mercado da pessoa, queria que conseguisse aquela clientela dessa pessoa. Como é que ela apresentou o negócio? Ela apresentou o negócio dizendo, olha, normalmente as pessoas que bebem café são pessoas que trabalham, são pessoas intelectuais, são pessoas assim, mulheres, que se importam com a moda e não sei o quê, E então, quem gosta de moda? Moda também são mulheres que trabalham, intelectuais, mulheres assim, não sei o quê. Então, quer dizer que nosso mercado é o mesmo. Nós podemos encontrar aqui uma sinergia de colaborarmos e crescermos a nossa clientela juntos. Logo, porque ela trouxe a coisa dessa forma, apresentar valor para outra empreendedora. Claro que a outra empreendedora logo gostou da ideia e disse, olha, ótimo. Então, aqui vamos ter uma troca de valores, basicamente. Eu dou-te a ti e tu dás-me a mim, nós as duas recebemos, saímos a ganhar. ok? Outro exemplo que ela dá é do seu livro, o livro que tem o título Pitch Mastery, e ela diz que está no seu Instagram. Se vocês quiserem baixar o livro para aprender como fazer o pitch, ela tem várias formas do pitch para investidores, pitch para parceria, enfim. Vocês podem buscar ali. Ela falou do livro. Ela, quando estava a fazer este livro, como é que ela chegou para encontrar este envolvimento da fundação? Ela chegou à fundação, a TEF, e ela disse, olha, eu estou a fazer um livro que ensina aos empreendedores como fazerem o pitch para buscar investimentos para os seus negócios. E tendo em conta que a Fundação trabalha nesse sentido, a Fundação quer financiar, quer educar os empreendedores para que possam crescer os seus negócios, então a nossa linha de pensamento, o nosso objetivo final é o mesmo. Portanto, aqui, oportunidade para trabalharmos juntos. E foi assim que a Fundação a TEF abraçou essa iniciativa do livro e apoiou-lhe nesse sentido. Porque houve ali da Catomalá. Portanto, vocês têm que lembrar-se disso, que o pitch também serve para isso. Você não pode só chegar a pedir, mas tem que apresentar valor para outra pessoa. E ninguém dá sem receber nada em troca. Isso já é mais do que provado no mundo, né? Portanto, essa é a linguagem que vocês devem usar no vosso pitch. Para saber mais, busquem no Instagram dela o livro dela, comprem o livro e aprendam mais, tá? Obrigada. Shioma, over to you. Trying to sell your book a little bit for you.
Thank you. Great. Okay. So finally, let's talk about the general do's and don'ts of networking. I feel like we've had a good session. So the do's is research. I cannot talk about research enough. Research the people, the organizations you want in your network. Research them to find out exactly what they're interested in, listen to their publications, attend their events, read their books, just be immersed in what they do, because exactly that is what you want to be part of. You want to be part of what they do, right? So you have to research them, be familiar with what they do, the value they offer, the kind of events they organize, go through their website, just research them. That's where to start, and that's where all of these things that's where all of these things begin from. So research them. That's how to get to know them and how you can even approach them, right? So in the course of researching them, you might find out that they don't like emails, for instance, or they don't like calls, or they only do events, or you only have to attend their events. That's how you also find out that they're not interested in educational projects, they're only interested in fashion projects. That's how you find out, these were not interested in fashion projects, or they're only interested in technology projects, right? So if you don't research, you don't know how to go about, be part of their network. You don't know how to pitch them. You don't know how to, gain from their network, right? So research them, read, listen to their publications, and just generally get to know what they're interested in. Then next thing is apply to opportunities that can broaden your network. So some people say, Choma, you're always getting these opportunities. Are you the only one? Yeah, and you're even in fashion. You're not even in tech, but you're the one getting all these opportunities. You're getting these, you're speaking here, you're getting this funding, you're getting that grant and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's because I deliberately and intentionally take the pain, because this is pain actually. I take the pain to apply to these opportunities. Nobody comes, wakes up and say, Choma, we have $1 million for you, take it. No, well, I wish, right? I literally apply to these opportunities. Like I write all these essays, I write all these pitches, I write all these proposals. I do write all these things to these organizations, right? And that's how I get opportunities. So sometimes it's a yes, you win, or sometimes a lot of times is no, but you just keep applying, right? So that's one thing a lot of people don't do, because they feel like, it takes a lot of essays, a lot of questions, a lot of applications. I'm so drained. Yes, it does take a lot, but that's the only way to win, right? You have to make time to apply for the ones that are relevant for your business. And no, there are so many. I don't think you should. I'm not saying you should go ahead and apply for everything and anything you see on the internet. There are so many, and that's why also research is important. So that's why I started with research. Find out the ones that are relevant to your business growth, relevant to your business growth, right? That's what we're talking about here. And then apply to those ones. So if you get a no, fine, just keep applying. Just like I was getting no's when I was applying for TEF program, right? I was getting those no's, but I said, okay, it's not my time. Another year, I try again. And I kept on trying until I got it, right? So even if it took me time, and pain to keep applying to these programs, I just keep at it because that's what I need, or that's what would expand my network, or that's what will expand or scale my business, or I need that. So because I need that network, I need to do what it takes to get into that network, right? So apply to these opportunities, and then travel. Some of you don't even travel because you think everything is about money. Yes, you need money, but sometimes you need to plan and budget for travel, right? So an example is, a lot of events are happening all over the world. And even now, there are virtual events. So you really don't have an excuse because you can attend virtual events. But also, if you can, have a budget for actual physical travel, right? So travel to those places where those events are, happening. Go there in physical form, in life and flesh and blood, right? Attend those events and network with those people. Sometimes that's the only way to get their attention. That's the only way to be part of what they're doing. So you need to also plan and budget for physical travel. All right. And then do not ask for favors without building a healthy relationship. Do not ask for favors without building a relationship. Don't just wake up, for all those people in my DMs, mentor me, mentor me, mentor me, mentor me. No, how can I mentor her? How many people am I going to mentor? I have my own life, I have my own business to run, and I also need mentors. So you think I'm also going into people's DMs, asking them for mentor me, mentor me? No, I don't do that, right? Rather, I build relationships, and in those relationships, I've learned from them and their work, right? So you don't ask for favors without building a healthy relationship first. Then do not be afraid. Even big brands need your value, right? You just need to be positioned right. So big brands also need your value. So do not be afraid to reach out to them as long as you have value to offer them. Remember what I said, it's value for value, right? Pitch your value and ensure that your value is what they're most interested in, and it will be almost impossible for them to say no. If they are desperately in need of the value that you're offering, it will be almost impossible for them to say no. So even if they say no, it's not because they don't want it, maybe it's just not the right time. All right. So please do not be afraid. Big brands, I have worked with big brands all over the world. I have named them here, and I'm still working with them till tomorrow. That's because I have pitched value to them that they are very much interested in. And that's exactly why we're working together. So you can also do the same. Do not be afraid to pitch them. Sometimes you can just write them emails. Sometimes I traveled to America on holiday and I was so bored. And I thought, okay, what am I going to be doing here now? Apart from the sightseeing, I can do something, more meaningful as well while I'm here, in building my network. So guess what I did? I started to research entrepreneurship communities in where I was in California, right? I started to, research them. So a few came up and I wrote them emails. And I said, oh, I'm here on holiday from Nigeria. I'm happy to, take a masterclass on so and so for your community members. I'm doing this pro bono because, I want to offer this value to them. This will help them access funding. This will help them do this. This will help them do that. And I wrote to, a few communities in California where I was at the time, right? And guess what? 2 responded and said, oh, let's do that then. And that's how I built that community. And that's how I built my network. I have, this community, or in fact, I also wrote some in Canada and some places in Europe. And I got a few of them to respond and say, okay, let's have a virtual masterclass. And that's exactly how I started. So from there, I started to host masterclasses for them. And guess what? We left pro bono and now I am being paid. Right? So that's exactly how I built my network with these global communities, right? So sometimes just write to them. They need your value, right? Even though they're big organizations, as long as you have value that they are very interested in. You can do this for us. Come on then, let's do it, right? So write to them. Do not be afraid. It takes a lot of courage to approach these people. As long as you have value that they're interested in, again, research them to find out that value that they're most interested in, and then pitch to them. I'll have Foko and Nadia translate before we round up. We'll have question and answer. We'll have a few minutes for questions. So if you have any questions, please type in the comments. I think we'll have about 10 minutes to go through your questions before we close. Nadia and Foko, let's go.
Thank you, Chioma. Dans cette session, nous allons parler principalement de deux choses. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire et qu'est-ce qu'il ne faut surtout pas faire? Alors, sur ce point, Chioma partage avec nous que dans le cadre de l'amélioration de son réseau pour pouvoir développer son entreprise, pour pouvoir faire croître son entreprise, il est important que vous fassiez des recherches sur les gens avec qui vous voulez dealer, sur les gens de votre réseau. Vous devez pouvoir lire, les écouter, voir leurs publications, parce que ça, c'est très important. Deuxième chose, vous devez pouvoir soumissionner aux différentes opportunités à travers le monde, à travers les voyages. Donc, pour ce qui est des recherches et des publications, elle partage beaucoup son expérience en disant, lorsqu'elle veut travailler avec une organisation, lorsqu'elle a un contact, elle prend la peine de suivre le contact. Suivre, ça veut dire lire ses œuvres sur les réseaux sociaux, communiquer avec lui tous les jours, pas forcément en face-to-face. Communiquer, ça veut dire que vous devez être intéressé par ce que la personne fait, par ses activités, par ses valeurs. Si la personne communique à des vidéos, à des livres, vous devez lire ces livres-là afin de mieux comprendre son intérêt, afin d'être connecté, parce que vous devez vivre cette relation. Vous devez être conscient, vous devez être imprégné, voilà, vous devez être imprégné de cette relation. Et pour cela, ne lésinez pas sur les moyens. Donc, c'est quelque chose d'absolu que vous devez faire afin de pouvoir favoriser votre relation avec les autres parties prenantes, avec les autres personnes qui sont intéressés par votre affaire. Donc, vous devez aussi pouvoir soumissionner, c'est la deuxième chose, pouvoir soumissionner à des opportunités à travers le monde, des opportunités de voyage, des opportunités de voyage, comme j'ai dit, parce qu'en réalité, à travers cela, vous développez votre réseau et ça vous permet de découvrir de nouveaux horizons, de créer des marchés, de créer des pôles d'attraction qui vous permettent de rencontrer de nouvelles personnes. Parce que derrière une personne, vous pouvez forcément, et c'est d'ailleurs c'est la règle, derrière une personne, vous rencontrez d'autres personnes. Ce qui fait que quand il y a une opportunité, saisissez-la toujours afin de pouvoir la développer, afin de pouvoir y donner du sens. Donc, pour ce qui ne faut absolument pas faire, elle dit éviter au maximum de demander des faveurs quand vous n'êtes pas sûr d'avoir déjà été, d'avoir déjà fait des apports au préalable. Donc, évitez de demander des faveurs quand vous n'avez pas encore bâti une relation saine dans un premier temps avec un individu. Parce que tout le monde a des intérêts et les gens n'ont pas le temps à perdre. Donc, vous ne pouvez pas rencontrer quelqu'un, même si c'est un mentor ou un mentor, vous rencontrez, vous allez vers un mentor, comme généralement tel est le cas. Vous faites comme s'il est obligé de vous suivre, comme s'il est obligé d'être un mentor pour vous. Non. Si on a le dit clairement, elle-même, elle a besoin de mentors. Et puis, sa vie ne va pas se limiter uniquement à venir vous mentorer. Non. Ça veut dire que pour qu'on puisse vous suivre, pour que quelqu'un accepte d'être votre mentor, vous devez y montrer un certain intérêt. Vous devez l'amener à être intéressé par la relation qu'il aura avec vous. Donc, évitez de demander des faveurs à des gens quand vous n'êtes pas sûr de leur avoir suffisamment apporté aussi quelque chose en retour, au préalable. Donc, ça, c'est un peu le jeu des rapports de force. Et elle dit, quatrième chose, qui est une chose à ne pas faire, n'ayez pas peur. Donc, soyez courageux. Parce que n'ayez pas peur des grandes enseignes. Elle le dit, les grandes enseignes ont besoin de valeur, ont besoin aussi de se positionner. Ce qui fait que quand vous allez vers ces personnes, quand vous allez vers ces grandes enseignes, quand vous allez vers ces grandes marques, avec quelque chose d'intéressant, forcément, elles vont s'intéresser à vous aussi en retour. Donc, n'ayez pas peur de ce que vous faites. Allez, rapprochez-vous des gens. On va préalablement parler du pitch, parler de la présentation, de ce que vous devez faire, comment vous devez construire vos réseaux. Allez vers ces grandes enseignes, allez vers ces grandes marques, parce qu'elles aussi, elles ont des besoins, elles ont besoin de valeur. Et si vous pouvez leur apporter ces valeurs-là, il va de soi qu'elles accepteront très facilement de dealer avec vous. Donc, la peur, c'est quelque chose à éviter lorsqu'on fait les affaires. La peur, c'est quelque chose à éviter lorsqu'on veut développer son relationnel afin de favoriser sa croissance. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foco. Então, continuando, chegamos no último ponto, que é o que se pode fazer e o que não se deve fazer quando está a construir as conexões, as relações para sucesso, ok? Então, em termos do que fazer, ela diz investigar, ler, ouvir, tudo o que puderem sobre a pessoa ou a organização que vocês querem se associar a ela. Portanto, procurem conhecer, ok? E a seguir, o segundo ponto, ela fala em buscar oportunidades, ok? Vocês não devem se limitar, parar e ficar à espera que as coisas venham atrás de vós. Não, pelo contrário, vão atrás das oportunidades. A internet está cheia de oportunidades. Ela dá exemplo dela própria, ela diz que muitas vezes as pessoas dizem que, Xioma, como é que tu consegues essas oportunidades, como é que tu recebes esses prêmios ou esses apoios? Mas ela diz é porque ela busca. Não é fácil, realmente não é fácil. Às vezes leva-te muito tempo a preparar os documentos, a responder a questionários, a preencher formulários, e muitas vezes nem sempre ganha-se, não é? Não sempre ganha-se, mas é preciso fazer, é preciso ir atrás. A internet está cheia desses recursos. Às vezes também é necessário fazer um pouco de investimento, não é? Viajar, por exemplo, participar em feiras, participar em eventos de networking a nível internacional. É necessário a gente fazer um investimento nos nossos negócios, investir em nós. Seja ele com um pouquinho de fundo próprio ou de forma que der, mas é necessário nós podermos participar em eventos que nos possam dar relações. Mas antes de participar nesses eventos, obviamente, de novo, a pesquisa é importante. Investiga, pesquisa, ver onde é que há coisas que têm a ver com o teu negócio. Se estás num negócio do mundo da moda, não te interessa ir para uma feira de alimentação, não, mas se for algo que é feira de tecidos, deve ser feira de, sei lá, até algo que tenha a ver relacionado com o seu negócio, você deve participar. Por quê? Porque você investigou, porque você sabia que é algo que é de acordo com aquilo que você faz. O que não deve fazer, ok? Os negativos. O primeiro ponto é não peçam favores antes de construir uma relação segura com a pessoa, ok? Muita gente, às vezes, no primeiro encontro, no segundo encontro, já quer pedir favor. Atenção, não peçam favores às pessoas enquanto a relação não está sedimentada bem. Por quê? Porque vocês afugentam a pessoa e as pessoas têm logo a versão de que, a impressão é logo de que esse é um interesseiro, essa pessoa só se aproximou de mim porque quer algo. Até pode ser, tu podes aproximar, conforme nós já estivemos a dizer aqui, é um mundo de troca, não é? Você vai atrás de alguém porque sabe que tem algum valor que te interessa, mas não precisa de mascarar logo no primeiro encontro. Seja, ela deu exemplos de mentoria, não chega e vai no perfil da pessoa e logo diz, seja meu mentor. Não, o que ela faz, ela constrói a relação com a pessoa e a partir daí ela vai, muitas vezes sem estar explícito, a pessoa torna-se mentor porque vão aconselhando, vão recomendando e vão guiando, ok? Atenção, isso acontece muito entre nós africanos. Gostamos, às vezes pulamos, não entendemos que ainda não há uma relação de que e já queremos pedir favores. O quarto e último ponto é não tenha medo. Não tenha medo. É muito importante aqui. Não ter medo de falar com as pessoas, não ter medo de ir atrás, porque até as marcas grandes e famosas, elas também precisam dos valores que vocês têm. Ok? Vocês só têm que se posicionar bem e mostrar o vosso valor. Ela deu o exemplo dela própria, ela diz que ela ia aos Estados Unidos de férias, e porque ficava aborrecida, não tenho o que fazer, então o que é que eu vou fazer com o resto do meu tempo? E ficou aí a pesquisa de novo, a pesquisar as comunidades de empreendedorismo na região onde ela estava. Quando encontrou, ela se ofereceu, disse, olha, eu faço eu faço isso, eu posso oferecer, isso é algo que eu venho a fazer, masterclass, eu posso oferecer algumas de graça e tal. Fez isso nos Estados Unidos, fez na Europa, fez no Canadá. E então, quando ela fez isso, ela mandou isso para várias comunidades. É claro que nem todos responderam, mas ela, pelo menos nos Estados Unidos, 2 pessoas nos Estados Unidos, 2 comunidades responderam e disseram sim, ótimo, vamos fazer isso. Ok, lá ela foi e fez essas masterclass gratuitamente. O mesmo aconteceu na Europa e hoje ela faz a pagar, não é? Ela já não é gratuito, ela paga para fazer isso. Portanto, ela começou, ela soube como jogar as suas cartadas, não é? Ela chegou, investigou, viu as comunidades, foi lá oferecer os seus serviços, eles viram valores e, então, a partir daí estabeleceu-se e criou-se uma fonte de rendimento, tá? Então, é guardar isso, pessoal. O que não fazer o que fazer? O que fazer é investigar, pesquisar sobre as publicações e ler, ouvir tudo sobre as comunidades que vos interessam, buscar oportunidades, seja na internet, seja onde for, participar em feiras, participar em eventos, busquem oportunidades. E o que não fazer é não pedir favores antes de sedimentar uma relação e também não ter medo de marcas grandes, porque aqui este é o mundo e todos nós precisamos um do outro, tá? Obrigada. Esta é a última questão. Vamos abrir agora a sessão de perguntas e respostas, no máximo 10 minutos. Escrevam as vossas questões, se tiverem alguma, no chat. Obrigada. Shoma, over to you. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So we are pretty much done. Type your questions in the comments if you have any questions so that we can round up with your questions. So just to conclude, what do you need for networking? What are the things that you need to do this networking properly? First things first, you need audacity, right? You need audacity and courage, right? I can pitch to the White House today as I'm sitting down here. There is no organization in the world that I cannot pitch to. That's what I call audacity, right? Knowing that this organization needs what I have, and I will pitch to them that I have this value that you are interested in, and we're going to work together, right? You have the courage to go for what you want. You have the courage to pitch to anybody, anywhere. The worst that can happen is no, or they ignore you. That's fine, right? But the people who are taking advantage of these opportunities are the ones who are making it, right? The people who have the courage and the audacity to go for these opportunities are the people who are taking it, right? So whether you like it or not, those are the people who are taking it. Sometimes you feel that it's the same people who are getting all these opportunities, the same people who are being called by this organization, who are being called by that organization, it's the same set of people. That's what you notice sometimes. Guess what? It's because these are the people that have the audacity to go for it, right? They don't just sit down and manna falls from heaven. They actually put in the work. They actually pitch themselves. They actually apply for these opportunities. They actually write proposals and ask these organizations. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just because they are part of that network and part of that community, or because someone mentioned their name in a room, right? But how can you be that person that someone can mention their name in a room? You have to be courageous enough to carry yourself like someone who can walk into the White House, and make a presentation. You have to carry yourself like someone who can, be appointed by the United Nations. You have to carry yourself like someone, like a very important personality. That's how you have to carry yourself. So in carry yourself, I also mean with your pitch documents, with your emails, with your proposals. As I'm reading your proposal, I'm reading your email, I'm looking at your document, I'm reading your book. Do I sense that this person is highly placed? Do I sense that this person has courage? Do I sense that this person is someone I can work with? Everything about you, your publications, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, everything has to speak like someone who I want to work with, right? That's exactly what you need to build your relevant network. Courage and audacity, right? Next is excellence and a good character. So nobody wants to work with someone who has a shitty character. Nobody wants to work with someone who is very nonchalant, who is careless, who, you know, doesn't care about time, who is always late, who, you know, you have to be excellent. And I mean excellent in everything, with the way you appear, with the way you write. You don't have typos, you don't write like Gen Z. I'm sorry, Gen Zs, but you know what I mean. So you don't write in abbreviations, you don't write you in place of YOU. You know, you don't write things like good AM. You know, you don't write all those kind of things. So you're professional, you know, with everything you do, with your publications, with your writing. You have an excellent spirit. You know, people talk to you and they feel relieved, or they feel empowered, or they feel motivated, or they feel inspired. That's exactly who you should embody, right? Someone with an excellent spirit, someone with good character. People gravitate towards you more, right? And then you need time. These things take time, right? You need time to travel. Like I said, yes, travel. You need time to attend these events and network with the people there. You need time, you know, to even organize your own events and build your own platform, creating content. All these things take time, and you need to, you know, make time for all of these things. So networking is a great part of building your business, and it takes time. You need to create time for building your network, right? Last but not the least, it also takes money. We need money, right? You need money to dress well. You know, you have to look like what you're asking for. You know, you can't be pitching me and look like you can't even manage 10 million naira. How will I give you 10 million naira when you don't even look like you have, you know, anything in your account, right? You need to look like the money you're pitching for, right? You need to have money to dress properly, look presentable. And I don't mean buying all the designers. You don't need to have, you know, designer clothes and, you know, what do you call it, bone straight and all of those things. You don't need to have all those things, but you need to look like, you know, someone who can handle the kind of things that you're pitching for, right? So yes, you need to have money. You need to budget for all those things. Like I said, you need to budget for travel. You need to budget for your wardrobe. You need to budget for, you know, internet, because you need to attend virtual events. You need to budget for everything basically. So you need money, right? So these are the 4 things that you need for building your network as you grow. And essentially, nobody wants to associate with an unreliable or someone that is shy or less confident and careless people. Right? Nobody, sorry about the typo. Nobody wants to associate with people like that, right? So you need to build a courageous persona. You need to build someone who is very excellent. You need to build time for your networking events or for your networking efforts. And then you need to save up money, because these things take money as well. All right? This is the concluding part before we take our questions. Thank you very much for your attention. We'll take your questions now. Tobina will take your questions after Foko and Nadia translates.
Foko, thank you very much once more, Chioma. Donc, pour finir, pour conclure, vous avez besoin de quoi en fait pour bâtir votre réseau? On va essayer de prendre le cas de 4 choses dont vous avez véritablement besoin pour bâtir un réseau. Premièrement, vous avez besoin du courage et de l'audacité. Donc, pour bâtir un réseau, vous devez être courageux. Dans le cas de Chioma, elle dit, elle a déjà rencontré tellement de monde que le courage ne lui manque plus. C'est-à-dire, pour une fois qu'elle a discuté avec une grosse personnalité, je dis n'importe quoi, avec Tony, elle sera très à l'aise de discuter avec Barack Obama ou bien avec Joe Biden, le président des États-Unis. Donc ça, c'est avoir du courage et de l'audace. C'est-à-dire, non seulement vous estimez que vous allez assurer face à ces personnes-là, mais en plus, vous cherchez à être dans le réseau ou bien là où ces personnes pourront être, et ainsi, vous pourrez vous exprimer valablement afin de toujours bâtir un réseau très important de relations. Donc, deuxième chose, c'est l'excellence. Donc, vous devez avoir un caractère qui permet que la perfection soit l'une de vos valeurs, en fait. La perfection doit être une de vos valeurs. Vous devez être excellent dans tout ce que vous faites, parce que les personnes avec qui vous allez dealer, c'est des personnes qui n'aimeraient pas avoir avec eux quelqu'un qui ne respecte pas ses engagements, quelqu'un qui ne vient pas à l'heure, quelqu'un qui n'est pas propre, ainsi de suite. Donc, vous devez être quelqu'un d'excellent dans tout ce que vous faites, parce que c'est une valeur dont les autres ont besoin. Troisième chose, c'est le temps. il est important qu'en fait, pour bâtir un réseau, vous devez savoir que c'est un investissement et pour cela, vous devez avoir du temps. Pour voyager, il faut du temps. Pour lire, il faut du temps. Pour partager sur les réseaux sociaux, il faut du temps. Pour honorer à des rendez-vous, aller à des événements, il faut du temps. Donc, vous devez être ce type d'entrepreneur qui a toujours du temps à accorder aux autres parce que vous estimez que ces personnes ont de la valeur, ces personnes, c'est des personnes pour qui vous pouvez encore apporter de la valeur en vous en investissant de votre temps pour la croissance de votre entreprise. C'est le thème d'aujourd'hui. Développer un réseau pour la croissance de son entreprise. Dernière chose, et pas la moindre, dont vous avez besoin pour bâtir un réseau, pour votre réseau relationnel, c'est l'argent. Il va de soi que tout ce qu'on a dit aujourd'hui est lié à l'argent. Vous devez avoir l'argent pour payer vos voyages, vous devez avoir l'argent pour bien vous habiller, pour être présentable, pour respecter tous les dress codes en fonction des événements où vous allez. Vous devez avoir un branding personnel, le personal branding, et pour cela, il faut de l'argent pour pouvoir avoir les moyens de sa politique parce que c'est en fait incontournable dans l'image que vous devez renvoyer auprès de ceux qui seront dans votre relation, soit aujourd'hui, soit demain. Et pour finir, il y a une petite phrase que je vais lire. Personne n'aimerait associer son image à quelqu'un sur qui on ne peut pas compter. Ça, c'est clair. C'est-à-dire, je vois mal quelqu'un vous accepter dans son réseau relationnel alors que vous êtes peu recommandable ou bien on ne peut pas compter sur vous. Ça ne marche pas. On dit aussi, personne n'aimerait associer son image à quelqu'un qui n'a pas confiance en lui-même ou à quelqu'un qui ne prend pas soin des autres. Donc, c'est quelque chose d'important que vous devez noter pour finir. Vous devez être quelqu'un sur qui on peut compter, quelqu'un qui a confiance en soi, ou bien vous ne devez pas être quelqu'un, vous devez être quelqu'un sur qui on peut compter. Donc, vous devez être quelqu'un sur qui on peut avoir confiance et quelqu'un qui prend soin des autres. Merci. You have the floor, Nadia.
Thank you, Foucault. Ok, e agora para finalizar, a Xioma apontou 4 coisas que as pessoas precisam para construir a sua rede de contatos, né? Suas conexões. A primeira é a coragem. Ela diz que a coragem e a autenticidade não se pode faltar. Então, as pessoas com a coragem e a audácia conseguem tudo. Ela diz que ela mesma aqui, neste momento, como está, pode fazer o seu pitch até para a Casa Branca. Não tem problema de falar, não ter receio de falar com ninguém. Portanto, é muito importante o empreendedor carregar esse espírito se quer construir a sua rede de contatos. Excelência no caráter é também outra coisa interessante e muito marcante aqui. O bom caráter é crítico, é chave, porque as pessoas não gostam de pessoas que têm um caráter assim duvidoso. As pessoas não querem estar associadas às pessoas que têm reputação um pouco estranha. Portanto, é preciso investirem também no vosso caráter. Excelência, buscar a excelência acima de tudo. Tem que ser pessoa que, ao escrever, escreve corretamente, sem abreviações, sem erros ortográficos. Quando se aparece sempre apresentado perfeitamente organizado. Ninguém quer ver, estar associado com alguém que se encontra bêbado ou maltratado por aí. Então, excelência, buscar a excelência, gente. A excelência no falar, excelência no escrever, excelência em relação à pontualidade, na apresentação, tudo. O terceiro ponto é o tempo. Sim, tempo é necessário, é preciso investir tempo. Se quer estar nas redes sociais, estar presente, fazer, há que ter tempo. Se quer ter tempo, está bem apresentado, tem que ter tempo. Se quer apresentar, fazer um pitch de qualidade, obviamente que tem que ter tempo para preparar. Enfim, tudo, tempo é crítico, tempo é essencial, ok? A quarta e última, que é menos importante, é o dinheiro. O dinheiro faz muita falta, obviamente. Porque se tu vais sair para fazer um pitch, para buscar investimento, vais pedir a alguém o dinheiro e apareces como quem tem zero, porque estás mal vestido, estás mal apresentado, pode crer que a pessoa vai olhar para ti e dizer, não, eu não ponho meu dinheiro nessa pessoa, ok? Portanto, o vestir-se bem, nós falamos aqui de viagens para procurar crescer, fazer crescer a network, as conexões, tudo isso é importante, é chave e é relacionado com o dinheiro. Portanto, o dinheiro também, aqui não como o grande pilar, não é? Tá no fim, mas também é importante e deve-se levar em consideração. E, por fim, aqui uma frase que ela diz que ninguém quer se associar a alguém que seja tímido, que não tenha confiança em si mesmo, que seja descuidado ou que seja de um caráter duvidoso, ou seja, uma pessoa não confiável, ok? Portanto, ninguém quer ser associado a esse tipo de pessoas. Levem isso convosco, boa sorte e é tudo. Agora vamos responder algumas questões. Obrigada. Okay, Shioma.
Thank you. Thank you. So we'll take questions now. Tobina, over to you.
Hello, everyone. So first off, very, very grateful to Chioma for handling this session for us. And we're also happy for everyone who has tuned into this wonderful session. So we'll take questions for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and the chat box is open. If you have any question, please send them in now. I'll read them out to Chioma for her to answer, and also Fuku, like our responses can also be translated for Canada. Thank you. The first question. Okay. The first question from Hadassah Lewis. How much free work should we do as a part of networking, and how can we avoid people taking advantage of our services for free or at a low price whilst we build our clientele?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. And there's really no formats to having free sessions or giving free value, right? But importantly, it always happens like this. So you give free value once or twice, and then the next time they ordinarily, most of the time, want to pay, right? So from my experience, I've given a lot of free sessions, but for each community, I don't give more than 2 free sessions. So I give the first free session and maybe the second, and then the third time they always ask, okay, this is a package we have, and that's exactly how it has worked. But sometimes after the second free session that I have, I always ask them, do you have a budget for this program? So if they come next time and say, oh, we need you to do this for us, and they don't talk about payment, I then ask them if they have a budget for it, that I charge this and this per hour, right? So if you give 1 or 2 free, programs or free products, whatever, please feel free to ask for payment the next time, right? So you can use your discretion. There's really no format for it, but just use your discretion as your relationship with the organization or your relationship with the person grows, right? So you know when to ask for payment, and because you know that you have offered them something, right? So there's no straight jacket format for it. Just use your discretion to know when to ask. Ordinarily, sometimes responsible organizations just know when to start paying, right? But if they don't, so some people don't know when to start paying because they think you're for that Christmas. Please just ask for your payment if you can no longer offer free sessions.
All right, thank you so much, Chioma, for that brilliant response. So we have another question from Jerry Sibongili. How does one obtain an excellent spirit? And how do you know that you're being excellent?
Oh my God, what a question. How do you obtain? You need to buy from the supermarket. No, so you need to build this persona that is excellent. So it starts from the very little things that you do. The way you write, like I said, please do not write letter U in place of YOU. Do not write all those short forms. Please write professionally. Even if you're greeting someone, good morning, not good PM or GM, or GGLP, whatever it is that you write these days. Please write it in full. Good morning, Thank you for coming to my event. Write professionally, even if you're texting. That's how you build excellence in everything that you're doing in your publications and writing on social media. That's how you build excellence, by just writing professionally, writing fully. So start practicing, even if you're writing to your friends. These days, in fact, I cannot remember ever abbreviating anything. If I'm writing to my best friend, I don't abbreviate anything. I'm writing professionally, like I'm writing to a TEF. That's the way I also communicate with my friends. So that's how to start building that excellence, because sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm writing to my friends, or I'm writing to our friends group, or let me just type anything. No, start building it. It will just be part of you. So you're writing professionally and properly to anybody, right? So you're not making mistakes. When it gets to writing professionally, you now make mistake and write to you, right? So that's part of it. Then, of course, just build a professional persona, right? You don't do anything outside. You don't attend useless events that people will see and wonder, what is Choba doing in this kind of event? You cannot see me in those kind of events that I'm not supposed to be part of, right? That's how you also build a professional persona, that people see you differently. People see as someone who I can't be found in compromising situations, or I can't be found in this kind of place, right? It just starts from everything you do. It builds up from everything you do. The way you publish things on social media, the way you carry yourself, the kind of things you wear, the kind of places you go, the kind of people you associate with, the kind of topics that you engage with on social media. Everything just builds your excellence, right? Yeah. So there's no place you go and buy it. It builds over time. Yeah. Next question.
I think we'll just leave Foko to translate the responses you have given to the question here. And we would like to wrap up the session shortly after Foko is done. Nadia has dropped off. So Foko, over to you.
OK, thank you. Oui, donc il y a deux questions qui ont été posées. Je ne vais pas les reprendre instinctivement. La première question, je pense que dans la première question, elle essaie de partager son expérience en termes de facturation. Elle dit généralement, elle peut faire 2 sessions gratuites et à la prochaine session, elle prend la peine de demander à son vis-à-vis quel est le budget que tu as prévu pour une telle opération, pour une telle marchandise, pour une telle formation. Et elle dit, il faut toujours se faire payer, parce que la question était de savoir comme on parle de volontariat, comme on parle de valeur à apporter aux autres, à quel moment est-ce qu'on peut facturer. Donc on dit, soyez gentils, soyez volontaires, mais faites comme une sorte de dégustation. Parce qu'en réalité, quand les gens deal avec vous, ils auront de la peine à vous payer s'ils n'ont pas compris le service. Et vous aussi, vous pouvez mal agir ou mal vous faire comprendre dans la mesure où les gens ne connaissent pas encore bien votre service et vous voulez le facturer. À ce moment, ça ne peut pas toujours bien se passer. Donc, elle recommande de d'abord faire 1 ou 2 services gratuits. Et si les gens ont aimé, maintenant, vous discutez avec eux pour la facturation. Maintenant, la deuxième question, c'était sur comment faire pour être excellent. Bon, elle est éclatée de rire et dit, en tout cas, ça ne se vend pas dans un supermarché. Donc, pour être excellent, c'est simple. Ce sont des habitudes que vous prenez. Soyez professionnel, c'est tout ce qu'on vous recommande. Comme par exemple, quand vous communiquez, évitez d'écrire en abréviant, en faisant des abréviations, ce n'est pas professionnel. Donc, elle recommande de toujours être sérieux dans ce qu'on fait, quel que soit l'interlocuteur, parce que quand vous n'êtes pas sérieux, il y a des lapsus qui peuvent advenir devant les mauvaises personnes et ce n'est pas professionnel. Donc, elle demande, lorsque vous écrivez sur les réseaux sociaux, de prendre la peine de toujours tout écrire. C'est très professionnel de tout écrire et d'éviter au maximum les abréviations parce que c'est pas, ça peut vous mettre dans des situations désagréables et puis ça donne pas forcément une bonne image de vous. Et aussi, pour être excellent, évitez de vous retrouver dans des scandales ou des affaires scabreuses, c'est pas la peine. Donc voilà ce qu'on peut dire. Donc, Nadia, Shoma, get the floor.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Foko. Thank you very much, Choma. I'm sure we can all see that time we've spent over 2 hours for this session, and it's been very, very insightful. And thanks to everyone who has been able to attend the meeting. So one more question, I would answer this myself. Someone's asking the actual community of TF alumni. So for all of you here, most of you will probably be on an alumni Telegram group. However, your details will still be sent to the alumni engagement officer to complete the documentation and registration. Will all be added to groups where you have a public to relate to it. And the final question is if this is replacing the traditional mentoring session. No, actually. So we are trying to revamp the mentoring structure of the foundation, and this is the first ever live mentoring session we've held. And we're trying to see how we can incorporate this into our mentoring program. However, the traditional mentoring session will go on and you will be added to mentors immediately. We've revamped and restructured the mentoring program. So I would also like to Adora, please can you put on your camera? A big thank you to everyone. Shoma, Foko, Nadia is not here, she had to drop off. Foko, please can you put on your camera for everyone to see you so I can just say hi?
But my camera is not working. Maybe another software is using it. I don't know.
Okay,
This was
no
not
problem.
working.
So this is just to say thank you to everyone, and would also share more information about further sessions to you. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.